welcome to episode 76 of Brews Less Traveled, the podcast exploring the best uncharted craft beer scenes across the U.S. I'm Brian, and as you know, we're exploring a very much not uncharted beer scene this month in San Diego. And to help us make our way through the city in motion, I'm joined by our co-host for this month, Mike Birch. Mike, how's it going?
It's going very well. Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to be here. And what a nice big group we've got here for the live stream tonight. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the live stream. Thanks for joining us. How you doing this week, Mike?
Oh, real good. Real good. Yeah, everything's going well. Still in our cool down. It was like about 58 degrees today. So, ooh, chilly. Here
Yes.
in Fresno in the Central Valley. Yeah, we're enjoying the good beer scene here. Excited to talk about some California beers again, and yeah, it's all good. I mean, I got a broken kitchen sink. We want to talk about that? No, we probably don't want to get into that.
No, probably not. We're
getting it fixed. It's going to get fixed. It's okay.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. I learned how to make a rose out of deli meat today. I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a magic trick.
Somewhat. It is.
The better the other way. You make a deli meat out of a rose. You know, you can have lunch.
Cured
free
rose
lunch
hips. I mean, it's got to be a beer now. I mean, somebody's gonna make a beer with cured rose hips.
Cured. I like that. Why not?
Mike, I got a question.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Do you remember the first San Diego craft beer you ever had?
You know, the very first one. Oh, we got someone from San Diego in the chat. Yeah, the first one I don't specifically remember, but I would guess that it was a little beer called Stone IPA, because back in the early teens, late aughts, that was my time for Stone. I lived in New York City, but I would go, if I had a Stone IPA, I'd say this is the best IPA in the world. No one makes a better IPA than this. And then when we started going to Pony Bar, and I brought up my list, like just the first few beers I had: Stone IPA with Liberty hops, Stone Cali Belgique, Stone 16th anniversary, Stone Ruination, Stone Pale Ale, Stone Oaked Arrogant Bastard, and you know what I love is the Enjoy By. Enjoy By this date, you know, otherwise it goes bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I told my mother-in-law this one Christmas out, because she lives out here in California, and I said, oh yeah, we'll get some beers, you know, if you can get that Enjoy By 1225. There was a Christmas one, and I said, just get a 6-pack of that. And you know, she ended up getting a case of the liter bottles. So we were like,
bombers. Oh boy.
Bombers. We were like, we better enjoy these. We only have today.
Yeah.
It's no longer available after that. But yeah, Stone was definitely my go-to for a long time. Still is. I like them very much. What about yourself? You remember your first San Diego beer?
I think it would probably be a Stone. It would probably have to be a Stone too, a Stone IPA. But then, you know, I drank Ruination. We actually served Stoned Pale Ale at our wedding quite 8 years ago. That was really nice to have that solid beer at the wedding. My favorite Stone beer that I ever had was actually Chocovesa. Their crazy coffee cinnamon milk stout that they do to kind of replicate. I think it's a Mexican hot chocolate. I think that's what Chocovesa is. Whoa. And that was a really cool beer that actually, I think the origins of that is the person that originally brewed that was a home brewer, won a contest with Stone. They brewed a batch of it as like a commercial size batch, and people were like, this is amazing. And then it became their winter seasonal, and now I think they still make it every year.
They do. I had it. I definitely had it last year at the Captain Brown Stout's house, and he had a couple of them around. It's very good beer, very good. And yeah, I think it's they make it on both coasts, because they have their brewery in East, which
Richmond, yeah.
is in Richmond. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
put in the chat if anybody else remembers their first San Diego beer.
Yeah. Thank you for the chat engagement there, Mike. Mike, we got a great episode today. I am stalling a little bit here. Haven't seen someone in the list there. But anyways, we're in the middle of November, and it has crept up on us out of nowhere. So
really
today
has.
we're going to be enjoying some holiday beers. We're featuring 2 beers that were actually made in San Diego by Mikkeller SD, the San Diego location of the international brewery, Danish brewery, Mikkeller. We're going to be drinking their Bock as well as their Henry's Holiday Cheer. A point of clarification I would like to get to right off the bat. So, like I mentioned, Mikkeller is an international brewery. They have numerous locations around the world. They were founded as what's known as a gypsy style brewery, where they would their founder would jump around to different breweries and brew recipes with brewers, and they eventually evolved into a contract brewery and then opened multiple locations around the world and a couple in the United States. And sadly, after we purchased these beers from Mikkeller, they announced that they were closing their San Diego location. We were hoping to feature Mikkeller as an example of like the scope of breweries that operate in San Diego. But unfortunately, this location is no longer producing beer, and the tap room will be closed at the end of this year. So if you're in San Diego before the end of this year, stop in before it's gone. But yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's one of those things of how the industry goes. Sometimes it's sad to see, but we're excited to be talking here tonight, and we are waiting on a guest. But while we're doing that,
why don't we have a beer?
Mike, that's a great idea. That's a good way to quell these nerves while I wait for a guest here. Every week where we don't get a guest immediately in there and waiting for us, I get very anxious, very stressed out about it, thinking everybody has technical problems or they've just realized they don't want to come on the show, which is my greatest fear. And alcohol will help with that. Was my point that I'm getting to here. So we're going to start with the Mikkeller Bock. Everybody, you probably are loyal Beer Club subscribers. You probably have a different. You do have a different beer on tonight's menu that came in your box. Yeah, we were supposed to be featuring a different brewery tonight, but to accommodate that guest, we actually moved that beer later in the month. We have a very exciting guest from that brewery, Pure Project.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll be drinking that later. So tonight we're drinking Mikkeller.
Let's take a look at this. Bah Humbach. I'm going to have to pour it right-handed for the label, although no one's taking pictures. Oh, actually, we are on camera, so.
We are on camera. The computer is taking pictures, Mike.
I poured a little fast there. It's got a lot of life to it. That's good to see. It was nice and dark.
Yep.
All
very
right.
nice. Cheers.
Slancha. Got a nice caramely nose on there.
Yeah, despite being called the Bock, it's actually technically a Doppelbock.
Oh yeah. Wow. I mean, this is pretty. I don't want to like our folks out there that aren't having it, but this is pretty nice. It's a festive yet traditional German style Bock. It offers a nice balance between the rich and malty sweetness and dry roasty finish you'd come to expect from your European dark lager. It's coming in at 7.2%. It's perfect for sipping alone on those cold winter nights or sharing with friends and family during the upcoming holiday gatherings. It might even put a smile on old Uncle Scrooge's face.
Mike, that's great copy.
See what I did there?
That's great beer description copy.
Thank you. Yeah, this is good. It would
very
definitely
nice.
This is perfect for the holidays. And you said no one in the room has this. The folks don't have this beer.
No, they should have this beer. They have it available to them. We we needed to switch our beer order up when our
I see.
wonderful beer club subscribers get their box. They get a little order sheet in there that our marketing team puts together, really beautiful looking, and lays out which beers we're going to be drinking on each night
I
throughout the
gotcha.
month, because we try to plan ahead, and we had some scheduling issues that we needed to work around to accommodate a very cool guest we're going to be having in a couple weeks now. And so yeah.
Well, put in the chat, folks, what you think about this beauty, because I think as a Doppelbock, they nailed the style. It's you said no, you said the word, you pronounced it Doppelbock,
Doppelbock, yeah.
It's got that umlaut over the O.
Yeah.
Doppelbock.
I probably heard one person say that one time, and I was like, oh, well, that's how that word's pronounced, because it sounds fancier and it's different than the way that everybody else is saying it. So I'm going to run with that.
That's my style of beer. I really like that quite a lot.
Yeah, I one of the things that I think is missing from a lot of a seasonal winter beer lists is a nice dark roasty lager. You know, there's a lot of them that are loaded with spices, and we're going to get to a beer like that later. And there's some big stouts and dark ales that make their appearance this time of year, but not a ton of appreciation for the dark lagers like the Doppelbocks. Of course, here in my wonderful city of Pittsburgh, we have a beloved winter seasonal that is a Doppelbock known as Penn's St. Nicholas Bock. And they do their St. Nick Bock Reserve, which is an 11% version of the Doppelbock. And yeah, I think my craft beer roots are always tied to Pittsburgh. And I think that's why I long for these types of beers when the cold months roll around. And I need something to warm me up at night.
Yeah. And when they say a Doppelbock is, basically means double Bock, right? So it's got more, just more. It's more. There's more of everything. The more alcohol.
Yeah.
So normally when we get a lager, it's not usually as strong as this. But yeah, this is nice, strong. And you do get a little booziness, but it feels good. Like it's nice and warming. It's so this is a winner. And we shall miss the SD. I've always been a fan of the SD brewery. A couple beers they had recently. They had a coffee sour, which was really good. And I forget the name of it, but I'll have to look for it now. It's going to be a collector's item to get that beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have always made good stuff. And when I was in New York, I went to the Mikkeller Brewery there. And they were making really nice stuff, and they also had closed just last year. The brewery itself was in Citi Field, where they had played the baseball games, and so it was really fun to just leave the game and go around back, and there was this great place to hang out. Really cool. Yeah, it's going to be missed there, and it'll certainly be missed out here in California. And they also have tap rooms too. There's one in San Francisco. There's a big tap room they have in Los Angeles. So I don't know how many of those are going to be hanging around. We'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, hope for the best for everybody that's involved in those those people that are working the day-to-day shifts and doing the tap room jobs and stuff like that at those places.
Yeah.
You worry for them. Mikkeller will still, as far as I know, continue to contract brew in the United States. So a lot of their beers still will be found around. It just may see some of these locations that go away, like we saw with these two locations, like you mentioned, the Citi Field location and our SD location that we're featuring tonight. Comment in the chat from Nick, big fan of their can art. I think that's one of the things that Mikkeller's probably most well known for is their very stylistic can art, which the majority, if not all, has been done by an artist named Keith Shore, who's very, very well known for that cartoon, comic-y style artwork.
Yeah, and I feel like he was known before there was Mikkeller, but I'm sure I saw his work somewhere else as well.
I know he's done a lot of collaborations and stuff like that. He's done a lot of collaborations with Major League Baseball. I think he did a big Garbage Pail Kids collaboration. They put out a reissue of all those cards, and he designed a bunch of them a bunch of those cards for that reissue.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just the Mikkeller guy is just such a recognizable symbol in the beer industry, so people know exactly what you're getting. You don't need to put the name up. You see that art and you see that character, and it's great branding, especially with so many having so many breweries and distribution so far away that you know exactly what we're looking at. I have to take a sip in the middle of my sentence. I'm sorry. I have to get back to the beer, guys.
Oh boy.
There you go. Nick is familiar with Keith Shore.
Do you know the name of that Mikkeller guy? He has a name.
He has a name. Oh,
He does.
I don't know it offhand.
His name is Henry.
Aha, that makes sense for our second beer.
Yes. I forgot the other beer actually had Henry in the name. I just always see that and think, oh, that's Henry. That's Henry. I'm really bad at stalling, and I think I'm just gonna throw in the towel and say I think we're getting ghosted, or
wow, has this ever happened
that we're
before
not
on Brews Less Traveled?
This will be the second time it has happened that we will disappoint our guests and or our listeners, our stream watchers, and mainly myself, because I was really always excited to talk to our guests.
Yeah.
So Laura, as always, the ever wonderful friend of the show, producer of the show, Laura has a great suggestion. Mike, you've been here for one episode. You've of course, loyal listener to the show. You've heard the rapid fire questions before. You've seen them take place.
That's
Mike,
a good idea.
I think we should hit you with some rapid fire questions so we can get to know you a little bit better. So, Mike, rapid fire questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
Fast questions, fast answers.
My beer.
Help us get to know you fast. Let's go. What's your favorite beer of all time?
Favorite beer of all time? It could be this one night when I had a Firestone Walker double Jack in an 8-ounce glass, and I had to just like lay my head on the table. I had like just a couple of sips. It was so piney. It was so hoppy. I couldn't believe a beer could be that level of hoppiness. And I just lost my mind in that moment. So that as a moment in time, that's one of the like best beers I ever had. Yeah. But
excellent.
It's always changing. It's always changing. Right now it's this Bah Humbach is my favorite beer.
Wonderful.
Right,
way to toe the company line. Thank you. First, do you remember your first job related to beer?
Ooh, first job related to beer. Well, I did work. I've always worked in restaurants, so it was always related to food. They served beer in the restaurants. I worked at Tom Foolery's restaurant. That was the first place I worked. Westboro, Massachusetts. Shout out.
Oh, shout out to Mass.
So I used to make my first job was being a prep cook, where I made the mozzarella sticks. We made them by hand. These took pieces of cheese, dipped them in the egg wash. No, wait, dipped them in flour, egg wash,
dredge them, egg wash,
breadcrumbs, back to the egg wash, back to the breadcrumbs. One.
Yeah, extra crispy style.
Oh man, and they were so good, but it was like it was a pain to make them. All right, not beer related,
Birch, hand breading extraordinaire, and also something we haven't talked about much on this show, actor.
That's true.
So drama or comedy?
I'd say comedy, just because that's because let me show you my face. See, I mean, it's hard. I am a dramatic actor, but I have to be very careful. Just one move and it's back to comedy. But yeah, I've been more of a comic actor my whole life. I do stand-up comedy, and I do comedy music. I've been here and getting around Fresno with my music. I had my band Fish and Chips for many years. So yeah, comedy. Although I did do a one-man Hamlet, which was dramatic, but also funny because I was playing all the roles. I would hope people weren't laughing too much when I was playing Ophelia.
Oh my God, I have so many questions. One man Hamlet. Can I find that anywhere on the internet?
You could find clips of it on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Because
Like Birch's One Man Hamlet.
I found our good friend Glenn's clip from when he did an interview with Mark Maron, and I was very, very
Right.
happy to find that. Shout out friend of the show, Glenn.
My biggest claim to fame, though, would be doing videos for the Key of Awesome, which was a very popular YouTube channel. Shout it out in the chat if anybody knows. People in their early to mid 20s at this point would know, because it was very popular with preteens and young teens. It was a music parody channel. So it was sort of a modern day Weird Al Yankovic kind of thing. So they did 100 and something Key of Awesomes. Plus they did other videos, comedy videos. So I was in about 150 videos overall between 2010. Dale has found One Man Hamlet clips between 2010 and 2008, because we started with the Obama Girl was the first big hit. I've got a crush on Obama, if anybody remembers Obama Girl. So if you go from 08 to about 2019, I was in 150 videos with the Key of Awesome. Very many millions of views.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before this show, my biggest claim to internet fame is I've been interviewed on the news a couple times.
Hey, wait a second. You're the host of Brews Less Travels.
I said before this.
Oh, before this. Okay. Celine's fiance remembers Obama Girl. Yeah, I was in the very second Obama Girl video, which got cut, so no one ever saw it. But I was in a bunch of those Obama Girl videos.
I don't remember Key of Awesome. I was a Shmo Yoho guy.
Oh, so yeah, I knew those guys.
Was a fan of a competitor.
Yeah, I know Michael Gregory. In fact, he just had a big hit with the Corn song.
Gregory Butters. Yeah, it's corn.
It's corn.
It's a big lump with knobs.
This guy has the juice. I don't know what it is. They just managed to. He just manages to focus in on the zeitgeist, and he just nails it every time.
He's so good. They're so talented. Every one of the Gregory brothers.
In 2010, the biggest YouTube video was it was the Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife video. If you remember that, since you're a Schmo guy.
Antoine Dodson.
Antoine Dobson. The number 2 video was the Kesha parody by Key of Awesome, 2010. So we were right behind them. I actually performed on stage with them one time, the Gregory brothers.
YouTube heyday star, Mike Birch.
Oh, yeah, YouTube heyday. It was a time.
You're taking me back. That was vegging out, trying to make it through liberal arts college, trying to get a journalism degree, and vegging my time on YouTube. All right, Mike, final rapid fire questions. These are the least rapid fire questions, but
get my life story now,
because these are the least Brews Less Traveled episodes, because we're featuring San Diego. So Mike, have you ever seen a UFO?
I mean, technically, I suppose everyone has. Because you see something in the sky, you don't know what it is. That would be a UFO, unidentified flying object.
Okay. How about?
But I would say no. I guess I probably haven't. No.
All right. Have you had any paranormal, inexplicable interactions, encounters in your life?
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty much a down to earth, literally kind of person.
Okay.
So even if something was to happen, I'd probably be like, I don't know if that really happened.
You're the
rationalize
in the movie,
exactly.
in the scary movie. Yeah.
Nah, I don't think that was real.
That wasn't. Don't worry about that.
Anytime I see a video or something weird, it's like, yeah, no, they put that up there. That's just they photoshopped that.
Well, it is said that there is a grift for everyone. There's a conspiracy theory for everyone. Do you have a conspiracy theory, a cryptid, a monster story that you believe in, that you're holding out hope in? For me, I believe in I hold out hope for Bigfoot. All the other stuff is curious to me, and I think it's funny for the most part. There's deep in my heart, I hold out hope that Bigfoot's real and he lives in Oregon or Washington.
I like that idea. Well, as an actor, I believe in some of the curses. So like I I don't like to say the name of the Scottish play anywhere.
Okay.
Because it is cursed. And people will say you don't say it, you're not supposed to say it when you're in a theater. But even in context, like people just always do bad productions of it. It's a weird thing. Like things go wrong with that play. So I believe in that. If not anything, don't say the name.
The Scottish play is the to be or not to be.
No, that's Hamlet.
That's
Folks,
Hamlet.
the other somebody can put it in the chat. Begins with M and ends with
the
H.
Have It Your Way. The Have It Your Way Shakespeare play.
There you go.
Yeah.
There was a movie that they made a few years ago. Scotland, PA. It was called. It was like a hipster movie, but it was all based on the Scottish play. But it was they ate at a restaurant called Macbeth's, and it was a fast food chain. And all the things happened. It was like MC Beth's, and
that's wonderful. So thank you. Rapid fire questions, Mike.
Yeah.
I think it's time for another beer. Let's take a beer break and talk about the San Diego Zoo. Quite possibly the most famous place in San Diego and one of the most well-known zoos in the world, the San Diego Zoo is known for its naturalistic animal enclosures and was a pioneer in creating open-air, cageless exhibits. At over 100 acres large, it offers its 3,700 residents ample space in a comfortable setting with exhibits that mimic the animals' natural habitats. The zoo was founded in 1921, and the very next year, the first cageless-style exhibits were built, starting with the lion enclosure. The zoo has grown throughout the years and is now the most visited zoo in the United States, playing host to over 3 million visitors annually. The zoo has also made massive contributions to conservation, raising countless endangered species and reintroducing them back into the wild. The San Diego Zoo Institute for Conservation Research is the largest zoo-based research effort in the world, with more than 200 scientists researching plants, animals, and habitats throughout the world in an effort to increase the impact of their conservation efforts. Located in beautiful Balboa Park, the San Diego Zoo is certainly a tourist attraction, but one worth braving the crowds for an unforgettable experience unlike any zoo in the world. And to tie it all into this week's conversation, it just so happens that the first video ever uploaded to YouTube was a video titled Me at the Zoo, and it featured a young man at the elephant enclosure of the San Diego Zoo. Now, let's get back to the show. We're going to do a very interesting beer. The second beer that we chose from Mikkeller to feature is Henry's Holiday Cheer, and this is a kettle sour ale with cherries and holiday spices.
Okay. Let's get it.
There's some Foley work for the folks at home.
Over in Belgium recently, and they the cherry is popular there, the cherry beer. So let's see how cherry this is. The problem with those cherry beers they were serving over there, wicked low alcohol. Like,
yeah.
What can you do? But speaking of Belgium, I got my holiday Belgian glass here for our holiday beer. Ooh, it's got a super effervescent. It's really like speaking to me out of the glass.
Yeah, that cherry.
Put it up to the microphone so we can hear it.
Ginger.
Real buzzy.
The ginger.
Ooh, get those
nutmeg.
spices right off the nose there.
Mm.
Oh yeah, there's nutmeg in here.
Very subdued on the acidity, blends in the spice character very well.
Not big on the head retention.
Like most sours, you know.
But it's a nice flavor.
You know what they say.
I get ginger ale on the nose, like smells like ginger ale.
Just over here stepping on your comments with my dumb jokes.
No, I didn't know what you said.
I was gonna say Killed that fruit fly. I was gonna say PHB do killing head retention. Do be killing.
That's
Oh boy, really.
that's like
Oh
it's like
boy.
that's like over my head, and I'm supposed to be a beer expert.
Yeah, low pH, high concentrations of lactic acid in beer definitely stifles the ability to retain head. That's why most sour beers don't have a lot of head.
There you go. Thank you for that.
And that's typically why you'll see when you go to lambic breweries, to speak of Belgium, the best thing that Belgium ever gave us, lambic. When you go to places that specialize in that, they typically pour those very hard, pouring straight into the glass, trying to form as much head as they can from that initial pour.
Right on. Now, Selena is saying she hopes mermaids are real.
That's an interesting one.
Now, they say that I've heard this, that mermaids are based on sailors and ship people. That's what they call them. Seeing actually elephant seals. And if you ever seen elephant seals in the water, which you can out here in California, they or manatees, they lean back and their heads are up, but then their tails come up out of the water too. So it looks like, you know, they look like a mermaid kind of relaxing. Of course, they don't have long hair or any hair. So I'm not sure how somebody mistook an elephant seal for a beautiful woman, but
well, I mean, the pirate's life, you're a little banged up on rum.
You got the scurvy going.
Yeah, you're low on your citric acid. You start mistaking an elephant seal for a beautiful woman, and then you tell everybody about it.
And then what do they know? The landlubbers, they don't know any better.
No, they don't know any better. And I mean, it probably was a real George Costanza situation. Somebody was drunk. They weren't paying attention. They saw this elephant seal. They're like, whoa, that's a hot lady that has the fish legs too. And they wreck their boat. And rather than telling everybody like, oh, hey, you know, I was drunk and I wrecked my boat, they're like, I'll tell you what, matey, I saw a lady that was crossed with a fish. I'll tell you, she lured me towards the rocks and I crashed.
Oh, I like it. Doug has a good point. For recruitment purposes, that's not bad. So to make people think they were going to see that when they go out to sea. Yeah, that's great. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm always debunking. I'm sorry, Celine. Yeah, I'm always trying to.
I'll be honest with you. Anytime the boat life of the open seas comes up, I think I would have been one of those people that took that opportunity.
Do you boat much? Do you get out on the sea?
No, terrified. I will be honest with you, Mike. Terrified of the open ocean. We went on a cruise. I went on a cruise with some friends, coworkers earlier this year. Yeah. It was wonderful. One of the scariest experiences was going out at night on the top of the boat and seeing just nothing out there.
Yeah.
The uncertainty of like, what's below us? What's over there? What's way down there?
Yeah.
Terrifies me. But, you know, life a couple 100 years ago.
Excuse me.
I did not get seasick. Nick asked in the chat. Did not get seasick. Did not get seasick on the cruise. When I got back on land, I felt like I was walking on jello for a week and a half. But I think back then, you know, life, big struggle, maybe not the most opportunity on land. Take this enticing opportunity of going onto the sea, freedom, maybe meet a lady with some scales. Who knows? Maybe that would have been my gullible. That would have been my grift that I fell for.
Yeah.
Mermaid, the come on this boat with us, come plunder with us, and you might see a lady with fish scales. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds better than dying of dysentery here.
There's all these ladies here in town have fish scales.
There's
you think I just want a regular lady?
There's normal people on land that you could build functional relationships with that'll grow your appreciation for life and the general better your general standing in life and happiness. And I would be like, yeah, but the ocean though, the possibility.
But she'd not have legs and have a fish body instead. That's really what I'm looking for. Well, maybe also some of these men were rejected by all the legged women. Figure maybe our chances are better. She can't actually get around without a fish tank. So.
I love that it's only men that have these stupid stories, because like throughout history, women like stayed home and took care of like the community and raised children and brewed beer and did stuff like that. And they were like, yeah, we're doing real stuff. Men are going out on boats and creating fairy tales about fish women and sea monsters. And
yet we call them wives' tales, right?
Women are like, we don't have time for that. We're taking care of the community. We're raising people. We're making beer. We're making bread.
Too much to do. That's right.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I guess that's it. Like we weren't given that burden or job of having the child, so we're just free to just go around and make stuff up and do crazy shit. So, I shouldn't have swore on the show.
Oh, Laura, explicit tag, get on it. I think I already swore earlier. I mean, it's an adult show. We're talking about beer.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You have to be 21 to listen.
Maybe we don't need to go with blue language and start telling jokes like we're Jim Norton or Bill Burr or something up here, but
right.
Couple of shits, never hurt anyone. I would argue it's healthy for you. And I think that's where we're gonna call it for tonight.
I mean, I'm gonna say, let me see if there's anything on the we could ask each other the questions we were gonna ask our guest. No. Let me see.
No.
Okay, how about this, Brian? You get send a lot of stuff from folks working in the industry. What kind of content gets you excited the most?
This doesn't work for me. Well,
we could talk about your sweatshirt a little bit.
That has something to do with
to the
San Diego beer,
AntiSexist, AntiRacist, ProEquality Beer Club, which I haven't joined, but I agree with everything they stand for.
Pretty simple principles to agree with.
Yeah. I'm digging all this. Well, would it be funny if I'm like, well, except,
like,
I'm not racist as sexist, but
yeah.
No, I think it is great. We actually do need more people of color, more women in the industry, for sure.
I mean, diversity makes any community better. Different backgrounds, different thinking patterns, different experiences leads to diversity of ideas, and then leads to the cream rising to the top and giving us the best that society has to offer. So without a doubt, but this hoodie, this hoodie that I often wear on the show, and that you can see me in a lot of BLT content when I'm out and traveling wearing, is something that's spurred out of what is often referred to as the rat magnet stories from last year, where a brewer named Brienne from Notch Brewing in Salem, Massachusetts, made a post like it was a very simple question of like, what instances of sexism have you experienced in the industry? And what followed was an outpouring of stories of terrible experiences and terrible treatment that people went through. And one of the things
literally blew up the internet.
It was the biggest story in craft beer in 2021, without a doubt. I mean, it was addressed on the main stage of the Brewers Association Craft Beer Brewers Conference every single day. They had a main stage speech. It was addressed, and one of the good things that came out of it was a lot of fundraising efforts to creating more education resources for breweries to up their code of conduct and make better policies around workplace treatment, especially. And one thing that came out of that was this anti-racist, anti-sexist, ProEquality Beer Club shirts, hoodies, hats, fanny packs now, I think, in the most recent drop. And one of the big supporters of this movement was the Beer Night in San Diego podcast. So shout out to the Beer Night in San Diego podcast. They were the ones that I believe actually started the shirt in the hoodie as a charity fundraiser, and it has expanded to 5 or 6 iterations of the shirts and tons and tons of fundraising efforts and educational efforts around making the brewing industry a safe and welcoming and inviting place where, everybody feels like they belong, because they should. There's a beer for everybody, and there's space for everybody in the beer industry. So shout out
Well
to San Diego.
said. Right on. Great job. Excellent.
Mike,
That's a pretty good place to land. I mean,
yeah,
really
closing
good
thoughts, final thoughts.
Well, I don't want to, I'm going to do a little more research on mermaids and see if maybe there is a possibility. I love my wife, but, if I could have, no.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Yeah, that bit doesn't go anywhere good.
I will say though, I really do like elephant seals, and you can see them out here certain times of the year where they actually they've actually closed certain beaches in San Simeon, California. They've closed the beach because it is a elephant seal breeding ground, and they will come ashore, and you can just stand right on the edge and just watch the wild scenes between the elephant seals. They're massive. That's why they're called elephant seals.
Huge animals. Yeah.
So if you're ever in San Simeon, or there's other spots too, check them out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen an elephant seal beer yet. Somebody get on that.
Oh, there's gotta be one.
There's Red Seal Ale.
There's Red Seal Ale from North Coast.
North Coast, yeah. Great
But
brewery.
Mike, you've participated in our Illustria Brewvana trivia game show.
Yeah.
You know that the most absurd beer names exist, and everything that could be a beer name is already a beer name. Everything's been done. The Simpsons did it.
So what do you have anything to promote? Anything to plug, Brian?
Yeah. I'm gonna plug the AntiSexist, AntiRacist, ProEquality Beer Club shirts and t-shirts. Just Google that, AntiSexist, AntiRacist, ProEquality Beer Club shirts. You can find them. You can check out bravenoise.com. It has information on the code of conduct policies that were instituted after that terrible outpouring of those stories. And a lot of good came out of that, with people taking a real HR approach to their workplace relationship. And as an a person in HR that works doing that on a daily basis, that really means a lot, that people are dedicating their time to that. Also, check out Beer Night in San Diego podcast. Oh yeah, Celine, shout out to Celine for throwing the link in the chat there for our beer club subscribers. Go check that out.
And Dale has identified the elephant seal double IPA by the brew house in Santa Barbara. There you go.
Hey, look, what did that take him? 30 seconds, a minute? Yeah. There we go.
Thanks, Dale.
Every beer name exists. A plug for us. You can follow us. You can find us always at Brewvana on all the social medias. You can also go to brewvana.com and check out the wonderful craft beer club, the Brews Less Travel Beer Club subscription box. You can support this show by joining that, and we'll return your support with wonderful craft beer shipped directly to you on a monthly basis. The next 2 boxes we got lined up, excellent. Can't wait to share these beers and share these awesome beer scenes with you. So get on that if you're just a podcast listener. And for everyone out there, check out brewvana.com for our holiday beer a day boxes. Gonna be a great time, the 12 beers of Christmas and the Hoppy Hanukkah box. We got excellent beers in that as well. Yeah. And we're gonna have like 19 nights of straight live stream content for people to join. So lots of shenanigans for the holiday season coming up. And, do your Christmas shopping early. How about a plug for that? Get presents for your loved ones and your friends early, and let them know you care about them. Maybe your present's just a call. Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with our next San Diego episode of Brews Less Traveled, featuring an excellent brewery out of the San Diego County area, North Park Beer Company. But until then, stay safe, be kind, and support local breweries. Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks for watching Brews Less Traveled on YouTube. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interviews with brewery professionals.